Okay, time for the postmortem on Discovery episodes 1 and 2. Okay. It's pretty. They certainly spent a lot on the effects and stuff, but there was a lot of credibility went out the window for the sake of a cool looking shot. Because I've been going to other reviews and bringing up things that, yeah, this was kind of stupid there. The Klingons, to start off with them, let's start with them there. It's overdone. It is to the point where it's like, that's no longer really a prosthetic. It's now a full face mask. And give credit to the actors who had to work past all that latex in order to get any kind of performance out. I mean, that and the noshes they got in there, like I said in the last one, it's like they had marbles in their mouth. So I feel sorry for any Klingon speakers out there trying to understand them. It's like, that's why I had to, and yeah, it was cute the first few minutes with them, speaking all Klingon, but after a while, enough already. Okay, we're supposed to watch this show or read it. Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, we just... And again, the Klingon, they could have rendered it, acceptable in the, as soon as they showed her the Klingons, but we'll get to that later. We move on to... Okay, the captain and first officer are down there on a desert planet to try and save some alien race that's in danger of mass extinction because their well went dry or something like that. And, okay. Yeah, noble effort, but why is the captain and first officer doing something that a couple of red shirts could do? If all you're doing is, go down there with a phaser rifle, take a few shots down a well, and boom, everything's done. Does this really require the attention of the captain and first officer? So you got that. And then suddenly they can't contact the ship to beam out. Okay. I would think the ship would have some idea where they're at, since they have a specific mission goal. They're going to be doing a drilling hole in this well. Apparently, it's that's the only spot on the entire planet that, because I would think if it was a planet-wide thing, that they'd need more than just a couple of shots down a well over their phaser rifle. But I think the ship should be able to, if they're having problems, with the. Then the ship should be nearby and close enough in case they can't get them. It's like, okay, there we go, swoop in, get them. But instead, you got, we got your first officer. It's like, she can time the approval of that storm down to the second. Putting aside the fact that she is still human, she doesn't have the computer-like brain of a Vulcan. So you're kind of losing it already on that guy. But she can't figure out that her captain is not leading her in a circle, but in the shape of a giant delta? Come on. This is the kind of selective stupidity that really starts grating on after a while. And so we get up to the ship. After, okay, interesting title sequence, but I'm not sure. This kind of thing, you have a few hints of some theme music in there, but then it's just, just some running motifs. There's no theme. This show does not have a theme tune. You got little pieces of other themes strung together with just little motifs here and there. But there's no actual theme tune. Which probably sums up the entire show, I think, in a way. So you get onto the bridge. Onto the ship here. Yeah, the bridge looks nice and cute, but if you think about it, it's very badly designed for a ship's bridge. Because for all the bitching and moaning about the original series bridge, think about, get past the fact that it's plywood with Christmas lights and a resin thing. The layout of that bridge is such that the captain can see everything going on around him. He just needs to swivel his chair. He can see what the helmet navigates. He can run over and see what's going on engineering. Turn back behind him. He can see what's going on in communications, out to the side, and every other station from his chair. Can Captain Giorgio say the same? No. She can't see a damn thing because none of the panels are facing her. None of the monitors are facing her. And of course, we still got the JJ-verse stupidity of big plate windows in front of the bridge. which becomes an instant liability the second they set off that little beacon there. This is why you don't have windows on the bridge. You have a view screen which you can turn off. I mean, for all the whining about, you know, this is making the original series bridge look like a, you know, designed by geniuses by comparison. You know? Because they're deliberately putting in stupid liabilities just for the sake of getting shots. Whereas the original series, how would we design a ship? And so you're no longer having to rely on the fact, well, it's designed by morons, that's why it's happening. And if we didn't have it, well, they wouldn't have a show. Well, maybe you better write your scripts better if that's the case. And we have supposedly a very logical first officer who makes the most incredible leaps in logic you can think of and trying to justify some of her stuff. And a lot of the dialogue, if they're supposed to be witty banter, is just snarky. And I think, you know, and I also point out that her just trying to take over Saru's panel, that is not someone who's been working for 7 years. That's someone who just showed up and is trying to, you know, take over, you know, do everyone's job. I think if she'd been there for 7 years with Saru, she would know better than to try and take over his panel and do his job for him. Like, this is someone who just, you know, no. And it just, so much of this is exasperating. The uniforms, again, we've gone over that. And something that I think, you know, that Samuel and Trick here has pointed out real good. It's actually to the show's benefit that they got everything that's wrong out of the way early. If they had sprung this on everything, you know, sprung this on everyone without him knowing what the tech on the ship's looking at, it would have been the firestorm that Brian Fuller predicted. Yeah, you got the big ratings, you know, probably the first 15 minutes would tune in, but they would have been gone by the first half hour. Because it would have been so out of whack. So, in a way, they diffused that time bomb by setting it off early. But we start getting into the tech, and they're communicating with Starfleet with holograms. They attempted that number a couple of times in DS9 and in Voyager, and it lasted maybe 2 episodes before anyone realized it was stupid. But what do we got? We got Star Wars type holograms now. Where none had ever been seen before as everyone on little view screens. And there was nothing on that dialogue that could have been delivered on a view screen. It was needless showing us, see what we can do now? Yeah, think about, how does that work on the other end of that? Where the Admiral is trying to do his little hologram technique. And what, is he in the little holodeck chamber of himself? Where he's able to this is technology that has never been on any. Even when they did it on the DS9, and they never did this to that extent, where someone walks in the room and the hologram turns around to acknowledge the person coming in the room. No. And the little max headroom glitches, you know, no. And then we got Commander Burnham's conduct during the whole thing. Yeah, insubordinate and extreme. But also, it's like, okay, she's leaving the bridge at a crisis moment to go talk to Ambassador Sarek. Other than the irregularity of it, why is she keeping it a secret? It's not like she's got a spy on the Klingon ship. She's talking to a Federation ambassador, for God's sakes. I think she could share that with the captain. Maybe get the captain in on it, too. Instead of just take my word for it, fire. It's like, why? Where are you getting your info, Commander? Just trust me. No, don't trust me. This is a fucking Klingon ship off my forward bow. You're going to tell me what the hell you know now. That's a... God, and it was also pretty clear, you know, made clear by the second episode. It's like, she never went to the academy. Yeah. This is why you go to the academy, to learn the rules and the protocol, and why you do not, you know, openly contradict your captain on the bridge of the ship in a moment of crisis, why you don't assault your captain. Always a bad thing, you know. I don't care how justified you think you are. And I think, even sorry, you know, oh, another thing. This may be it's probably not going to last long, but as it stands right now, there is a dodge for saying he's not acting like Sarek. You know, they keep pronouncing the name Sarek. That's not the way Spock's father's name is. It's Sarek. So the dodge is, this is a different Vulcan. This is Sarek. Spock's father's name is Sarek. It's all in the enunciation. We've got Earthworm names like that too. We're just change the pronunciation of the vowel sounds, it's a different name. It's a different person. Could be like, you know, just some little diddle and jot somewhere in the Vulcan language that differentiates. Again, it's probably not going to hold up. They'll bring in Amanda and screw that all up. But for now, I'll hold on to that slim hope that that's it. Because you start running the numbers here. It's like Sonequa Mark Green is 32 at the moment. And assume that her character is the same age. Now, Spock, at this time, is in his late 20s, serving on the Enterprise under Captain Pike. So let's figure back, you know, this would, you know, around when, supposedly, when Sarek finds this gift, you know, we stick with the thing that this is Spock's father, they take in little Michael, maybe a little before or around the time that Spock is born. Yeah. And again, we won't deal with the whole issues of the fact that, you know, the whole introducing an older sister. When Alder in the original series was bad enough introducing Cybok late in the game, because there was enough of a difference there they could easily say we're just no. But a sister being raised along the same time, no, sorry, not going to happen. Okay, especially not a sister in Starfleet, which we, you know, watched Journey to Babel, and then the scenes with Sarek and Spock in Star Trek 4. It's like Sarek really didn't approve that much of Starfleet. He certainly didn't approve of Spock being in Starfleet. So why the hell would he put an adopted daughter into Starfleet? This is not Sarek. He's not acting anything like Sarek. This is the guy who refused to speak to his own son for 18 years because his son refused to go to the Vulcan Science Academy and he wanted to join the Starfleet. And this just gets... So we got a first officer. I don't know how the hell she made first officers. Apparently just by pulling strings. Like, no, trust me, she'll be good. Yeah. Lieutenant Saru's starting to grow on me, though. He's, you know, the only one with any common sense on that ship, apparently. But also, you know, when after Burnham does the nerve pinch on Captain Giorgio, which in itself is also a problem because humans can't do that. They don't have the strength to apply the pressure to those nerves. But Marsh, you'd argue that, well, that's why she was only out for like a minute and a half. Normally, you know, you're down for the count when the Vulcan does it, but you know, stagger enough to get it down to the floor, and then, you know. But I would think normally a captain in this situation would not just walk onto the bridge and point a phaser at her first officer, regardless. She'd be on there with a security team and immediately order take Commander Burnham into custody. She's been charged with mutiny. And it's been brought up that, you know, in the Tholian web, there's a bit of dialogue between Chekhov and Spock about, you know, whether any record of a mutiny in Starfleet. And Spock says there's never been a, you know, record of any such mutiny. You can finesse that one by saying that he was talking about the entire crew, although even that's contradicted by who God's destroyed because Garth's crew mutinied against him, but that might also be massaged away because it was clearly Garth was in the wrong, and the crew was simply signed up for him to kill him. So it wasn't really a mutiny in the sense. It was like they were. Garth was about to do something very horrible to, I think it was Axanar or no, I looked that up. But he's about to do something rather nasty to some planet, and their crew stuff like, no, sorry, you can't do that. So it's not really a mutiny if it's the crew upholding Starfleet standards and the captain goes nuts. So yeah, I'll let this one go about, you know, Burnham committing mutiny. Let's talk about the Brig for a bit. Rather spacious. In fact, everything in his ship is ridiculously big. The bridge is like probably twice as big as it should be. Because there's a lot of empty floor space. I mean, just clear away the chairs, you can hold dance competitions there. Why would anyone in the Brig have any kind of access to the ship's computer? It's supposed to be a secure area. If anybody can, you know, and just do a little Kirk Ninja, Kirk Computer Ninja talk on a computer. It's like, no, you would be completely cut off. Any communication there would be one way from outside, saying, into the, and even then, most likely be someone going down to the cell and talking to the prisoner directly. There's no logical reason whatsoever for anybody within the whole to have any kind of access, especially not voice access, to the ship's computer. If anything, it should have been, access denied. You're in the brig. But this, some of it was just, so many things in there just done for the contrivance of a cool shot, and logic be damned, Then we get, let's go to, in episode 2, we finally meet other Klingons from other houses. This is where they could have redeemed themselves by showing some, regular style Klingons with the ridges in the hair, some original series Klingons, but no, they're all the big misshapen heads with no hair. I was like, okay, well, you just blew it there, guys. You had one chance to do it and explain these things, but nope. You went with this kooky, big grapefruit head Klingons. In every house, and so yeah, you're screwing your pooch already, guys. I don't care what explanation you guys come up with. You think it'll work because you've already screwed it up, and you continue to screw it up. These 24 ships, not a single D7 amongst them, or D6, or anything recognizably Klingon. The closest thing is the big sarcophagus ship is vaguely configured like a Klingon ship, but that's just vaguely. That thing's gargantuan too. And the technology again, you can kind of hand wave a little of it away. So there's kind of going into transition, but this was newer stuff coming in, and then, not everyone got it. So the Enterprise still had the old hand lasers and the communicator. You can work around that, but pretty soon you're hand waving the way so much you're just basically swatting flies, and it's like enough already, okay? And also, why is it so damn dark everywhere, I mean, I heard an explanation, the bridge, you can, for subdued lighting somewhat, because, you're looking at readouts and panels, but everywhere? And the Courtmartial at the end, we've seen Courtmartials, they're always very fully lit. Why are we hiding the faces of the judge in some kind of Starfleet star chamber? You can't know who's ruling? It's like, come on, guys. Setting a mood's one thing, but you got to maintain some credibility. So, and I liked and enjoyed, and suddenly started seeing some ingenuity from Georgia, where they're scooping up the dead, which is also a slightly not normally Klingon tendency. Previously, we saw them dead, so there's an empty shell. Dispose of it as you see fit. But yeah, these are offshoots Klingons, so another hand wave with that one. So. But I did like the idea of, sneak a warhead inside one of the bodies and let it blow up on board ship. That was cute. But I think that you should have gone a little more heavily armed. There's a couple of hand phasers. And maybe more than just the captain and first officer. Again, you take some security guys with you, okay? More than just two people to take it. Come on. This is not the time. You're already just blown up the ship in half. Now's not the time for subtlety. Okay. You go in there with like 6 or 7 guys and you start raising holy hell. It's like, see this guy, take him alive, stun the hell out of him, and we get out of there. Instead, you go into with only 2 people. You're guaranteed you're already outnumbered. You ain't got a chance in hell. All these is 3 guys and you're screwed. It's more than 3 guys. But it's just, it's just basically one big, long, unforced error. This would have been so easy. They could have pretty much done the same story, although, frankly, even some of the story logic is lacking. But they could have done the same basic story, made it look like it belonged during the original, 10 years before the original series period. And you would have had more people on board, So much is totally unnecessary. There's no reason to deliberately yank everyone's chains by coming up with stuff that doesn't belong and will never belong. There's no way you can explain this stuff dovetailing into the original series. It's too radical a shift, especially technology-wise. Uniforms, you can, down a couple of salt shakers with us on and go along with it if you absolutely have to, but I don't think we actually have to because this is too far off the mark. But Sarek isn't acting like Sarek. Again, the one bailout is he's not Sarek, he's Sarek. Again, that's probably not going to last long, but it's worth a shot for now. And it's just, like I said, the big surge in CBS All Access subscriptions. 30-day trial period. How long are people going to stick around for the full 30 days? I bet you a lot of them are going to, that comes the end of it, I don't need to pay for this. Because I'm not paying for it. And then, and considering some of the stunts the cast pulled, they're taking in the, I may not even watch it very often. I'll keep tabs on it, but they're really not encouraging me to watch. That's for damn sure. Anyway, I just gotta warn you. They say there's an explanation coming. It better be a damn good one. But they expect this thing to even really be qualified as canon. What they were to say, because a lot of it, the audience accepted as canon too. Because with it being its own thing on there, it can be easily ignored. And there's none of the technology fits, none of the shows or the characters are you got a first officer of a Starfleet vessel that does that stuff. I'm still thinking, that whole thing with the opening title sequence, where you got an original series phaser, and it sort of explodes you and then reforms into one of their phasers. Is that the message there? This is what you got planned for the original series too, and you start overlapping with that. You're just gonna. We know what the Enterprise looks like in this time period. Okay, just look at the cage. That's the Enterprise in this time period. Give or take a few months. If they screw with that, then it's game over. They still try and say this is prime timeline, but the Enterprise is nothing like the Enterprise. You just screwed the pooch on that one, guys. And then it's when you'll start getting the whole thing with like one season only, and we're on to Nick Meyer's thing. So if he is doing, so another word is he's not working on the new series, he's working on other things. But we shall see what happens, and we'll see what happens with next week with episode 3. See if they start coming up with some kind of salvage act here, because again, it's just one big unforced error. They did not have to go down this route. You could take those same designs and again, since it's not the Enterprise, not a Constitution class ship, you don't have to be slavishly loyal to that exact design. You can play with the general ethic of it, the general aesthetic of it, and still come up with something that will fit everyone's actual monitors instead of the plate glass and or the plexiglass and Christmas lights. It's not that hard. It's been done repeatedly. On Enterprise, they designed that, they recreated those sets within millimeters of the actual ones, but they made them with modern materials that stood up to high def thing, with actual monitors and controls that did stuff. So it can be done. It's like, don't give me this thing. Oh, look, hokey bull. That is your millennial attitude. Saying everything old is crap. Well, you can take everything old is I get to kiss my sorry white and wrinkled ass. Okay, because no, that designs still hold up today, and the times it is shown up on the original on the DS9 and Enterprise shows those designs still work. The fact that you can't look at those controls and tell exactly that's pretty damn futuristic there. I think you're still mysterious enough that you can't tell what's going on. You could sit down to the Enterprise helm and, oh yeah, here's a steering wheel that you can plot this way, and you can figure it out. Original helm, you can't do that. So where are buttons? You think it's so smart? You fly the ship. So yeah, the fact that nothing is labeled on there, and it's all about, it is just a bunch of buttons. That does make it kind of mysterious and future. So yeah, it works as a futuristic ship. And again, I'm not saying the plywood. You know, you don't have to use plywood and staples and Christmas lights. You use modern LEDs and modern materials, so that it'll hold up against a high-def camera. You know, for a fan base that's supposed to be, you know, always forward-thinking, there are some narrow-minded bastards in this bunch. Okay. Maybe on my side too, but also on the other side, where they will not even think about, you know, keeping true to the thing. Because then, the surest way to kill a prequel is to disrespect their source material. Because you say, oh, you can't, you know, you can change it all. No, you change it, then you just undermine your entire foundation for having the show. Because if the source material doesn't count for anything, then nothing counts for anything. You know? Just call it something else. Okay. All right, PayPal, Patreon, Cafe Press down below, and need to get these views up, guys, because you know I'm rather like getting a check this past week, about last week. I'd like to keep this going. So we got to get those views up, share it around, pass it around, throw money our way. You know,